Howdy! Welcome back to Pandora's Box. We're here to do one last round of bonus puzzles. Let's see. We've got 10 left. And there are 2 puzzles left in most of these categories. So let's start with a focus point. Alright, this doesn't seem like it'll be so bad. I haven't been able to record in a hot minute, in almost a week, in fact. For various reasons, but one of the big ones is that the construction people have been busy. They have been straight up repaving the street that I'm on, but they're not working on that right now. So I'm taking my chance to record. My words left me there. I'm taking this chance to record what I can while I can. Seems to me like a good idea. I don't know why I pronounced good like that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm glad this puzzle has like a very convenient outline that I can use to trace where the pieces are supposed to go here. It's convenient. Illumination of education in a monastery. A facsimile of the Manessa Codex. Codex? I pronounced that wrong. Codex. I promise I know what words are. Alright, that's 1. Let's do an overlap next. Okay, pieces here don't seem too big. God, I remember the overlap we did in, I think, the previous episode? Or maybe the second video of the extra puzzles. It took like upwards of 15 minutes. That was a time. You know, I'm gonna be sad when this is over. I've greatly enjoyed revisiting this game and also doing these puzzles, which until this playthrough I had never done before, or even knew they existed. But I'm glad to have done them, and I'm glad to have shared this game with you all. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you know of any other cool puzzle games that my laptop can also actually run, feel free to leave suggestions in the comments and I will look into them. Although you should keep in mind, my laptop is pretty underpowered and can't run a lot of things. Or it can run things, but not run things and also record video at the same time, unfortunately. Oops. I had that in the right spot. There we go. Yeah, this puzzle's not too bad. Just a good old-fashioned overlap. It's because I'm a good old-fashioned overlap. I apologize for butchering Queen. Although, to be fair, if you're not Freddie Mercury, and most people aren't Freddie Mercury, it's pretty hard to sing Queen well. Where do you go? I know you go over here somewhere. Where do you go? Where do you go now? I'm just all over the place with song references right now. I don't even like Guns N' Roses. Why did I do that? I've only heard like a few of their songs. It's the radio hits. You know the ones. I'm not really that big into them. I don't dislike them per se. They're just not really my thing. And that is all I have to say on that. Oh, good. My closet door is open. My roommate's cat, she's very mischievous. I've talked about it before. She has figured out how to open my closet doors, so she's in there right now doing who knows what. Nothing good, I'm sure. Cats are funny. Some people think they're evil, and I feel like that's misguided at best. You're projecting human characteristics onto animals. But I do feel like that cats understand the concept of mischief, even if they don't know that word. Do you know what I mean? Like, my roommate's cat isn't doing anything bad by messing around in in the closet, but also she shouldn't be in the closet and knows she shouldn't be in the closet. I've shooed her out of it multiple times at this point, but she just ignores me and does it anyway. So, like, if that's not a creature that knows what mischief is, I don't know what is. But that is neither here nor there. What is here and there is this puzzle. I don't think that even made more sense in my head. I just kind of said it. You know, I thought this was going to be easier than it was because of the size of the pieces, but once again, the crustiness of the JPEG here is throwing me off. Not the first time that's happened, and it probably won't be the last. This will probably be the last time I play Pandora's Box for a while. I'll probably replay it at some point in the future, but not for quite some time. I don't replay games very often. It's not that I dislike doing it, I just, you know, don't. Most of the time when I think about replaying a game, I could be like, well, I've already played this game, and there are several other games that I want to play that I haven't yet, so I'll do those instead. But, you know, occasionally I'll be in the mood to replay a video game, and usually it's one that I like a whole lot. Usually it's one of my favorite games that I end up, like, revisiting. Like, God, I've been really wanting to play a lot of Bloodborne recently. I love that game so much. It's my favorite From Software game. One of my favorite games in general. It's... I vibe with it immensely, you know? And, by the time I upload this, it will have already been the 10th anniversary of the North American release of Bloodborne. And hopefully I will have also done started a stream playthrough of that. I have another challenge run in mind. Speaking of which, I'm still editing the highlight reel of the no melee attacks challenge run. I haven't worked on it in a little while. I've been busy with recording these. It's been taking a hot minute, and as I've said before, I don't mind editing, but it's also kind of tedious, you know the whole song and dance. But there we go. Hopefully by the time this goes up, which should be in like 3 weeks-ish from the time I record this, hopefully by the time it goes up, I will have I will have finished editing that and then posted it, or uploaded it, whichever one you want to use. But we'll see. We'll see how my work ethic perseveres in the face of my promising things. Again, I'm not. No, come on, I know you go over here. There you go. And again, video editing isn't like the most difficult thing on the planet. It's just tedious and time consuming. I've talked about this before. But there we go. That is a-okay. I like watching highlight reels of challenge runs. I think they're entertaining, and I'm hoping that this one will be entertaining too. She said, desperately trying not to stumble over her words suddenly. Words are hard sometimes. We've been over this. Okay, I am making progress. It's just, again, the very low resolution of these pieces here are making this somewhat challenging. But I will persevere. I must. Or these videos don't get uploaded. And it's like, that's pretty low stakes. Just like, record yourself playing a video game. And talk over it. Pretty fun time, turns out. Weird that it would be fun, but you wouldn't think so, but it is. It goes somewhere over here, surely. Whatever. Alright. There we go. How many times have I said "there we go" over the course of recording these videos? It must be somewhere in, like, the low hundreds at least, right? Because there's only so much you can say about the gameplay here I am doing my best, but I'm not a magician. I'm a bird. Don't get it twisted. So, me repeating myself about, you know, whatever line of thought you'd care to name has probably happened several times at this point. Aha. Alright. Cool. Got a mini streak going. Combo! I've probably made that exact joke while I'm talking about repetition. But hey, you know what they say, repetition legitimizes. Oop, I had that in the right spot, and then I rotated myself directly out of it. No? Yes. Okay, just a few more, and we can move on to the next one. Yeah, that man's face is oriented correctly, because he goes over there. Over there. Come on. Thank you. What? Okay. I was like, where did I go? Restaurant Terrace, from the French School, in 1904. No specific artist, I guess. Alright, that's 2. My phone went to sleep. Let me pull back my list up. Pull my list back up. I promise I know how words work. Jessie strips. Okay, pieces here aren't too small. In fact, they're rather large, but whether or not they're distinct enough to be placed, for me to find where to place them, I should say, is another matter. You know, I feel like I had more to talk about before I hit record, and it turns out I guess I don't. I thought for sure maybe the construction project talk would have carried me further than it did. Sure didn't. That's fine, I guess. Someone messaged me, but they're going to have to wait. I am too busy recording nice video here to pay them much mind. You know, I thought this was going to be easier than it is. I said that exact thing about the puzzle we just did. Problem with this one is, it's kind of hard to tell where the pieces are supposed to go. Well, that one was pretty easy, but like, a lot of this is seemingly just like a mess of flags and other things. We gotta find where the mast aligns with the pieces, I think, and that will be helpful. I've been having bodily issues. Nothing like too major. It's just my ears have been stopped up for a while, so I bought some ear cleaner while I was out today, running other errands and such. Hopefully that'll work and fix the issues over the next few days that I use it. I guess that's all I'll say about it, because I know it's gross. Human bodies are strange and wondrous things, but they're also really gross. We are, after all, just autonomous skeletons piloting meat mecha. I don't know where that's from, but not entirely wrong. The commentary is super riveting today. I gotta not give myself such a hard time. Easier said than done, at times, but doing my best out here. That's all anyone can ask for. Okay, that's clearly a dude from that orientation. Well, a person, I shouldn't assume, but beyond that... Oh, I was about to say not sure where he goes yet, but he goes right there. As it turns out. There we go. I said, take a shot every time I say there we go. You will be plastered. Yeah, alright. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. I was struggling at the beginning here, but I've gained a solid foothold, I think. Move this over here. There we go. Cadenza, say something other than "there we go" whenever you put a puzzle piece in the correct spot. Challenge. Parentheses. Impossible. Close parentheses. Get new material! Hold up a note card and look at it real close, and it just says, "there we go," in really tiny font. Sweating. Sweet! Also sweet. And that will go here. I bet this goes over there. It does. Alright. Not sure about that one yet. We'll get back to it, I suppose. Yes, yes. Alright, we're almost done. Oh. Almost passed that by. Really? Interesting. Oh, you go over here. Yeah. And you... Not sure. Not sure at all. Not sure about you either, to be honest. Oh, we're having another situation. We're having another church painting situation. Like, it looks like the pieces are all filled in, but clearly they aren't, because there's still somewhere for this thing to go. We're gonna have another ordeal on our hands. Okay. Don't think I'm a big fan of this. The painting is clearly done, but we're not allowed to continue here because this piece is arbitrarily not in the right spot. Where is this? Let me stare at this for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. There we go. Alright. Damn it, I said it again. Celebration on Water. Artist unknown. Okay, let's see here. Let's do a find and fill. A really easy looking find and fill. Can I mark this one, please? That was all I wanted all along, this whole time. Okay, that's one. Two. A three. Okay. Bacchanal Before a Temple. Artist unknown. Not a whole lot to say about that one. Over and done with pretty quick. Alright. There should be one left of each category, so let's go ahead and get the rotoscope out of the way. Oh good, it's an easier one. I was, not gonna lie, I was rather worried about that, but I mean, I should still be worried. This is me trying to solve a rotoscope we're talking about here. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, I just need to rotate. I need to rotate these pieces and then get this one over here. Yeah. Alright, time to do this song and dance again. If I just had a hint token, I could solve this instantly. But I don't, so I can't. Alright, let me try and engineer this a little better. Do that. Yeah! Yeah! It's almost like I know what I'm doing with these. Almost. Painting of Saint Abrose. Artist unknown. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with rotoscopes forever. Give it a round of applause, everybody. Woo! Alright, well, I'm probably not literally done with them forever, but it's fine. One last image hole for the road. and it seems to be modestly challenging. Let's try and find this shape. Looks kind of like a heart, although it definitely isn't one. Going from the subject matter here. Is it... I wanted to say it was this, but the shape isn't quite right. They don't quite line up. Maybe it's somebody's hat? Or other piece of headwear? No? The difficulty with image holes is that the shapes could truly be, like, literally anything in the painting. Beyond the size of the object, they could just go, like, anywhere. That goes there, though. That seemed fairly obvious. If I can just find that... Where did it even go? Here it is. If I can just find that small shape, then we'll be in business. I don't think these people shapes, and whatever that is, are going to be too difficult to find. This is where the real challenge is. The real Pandora's box starts here. Is it that guy's hat? Let's try this guy's hat. I was thinking about hats earlier, but I dissuaded myself from doing it because I didn't immediately see a match. Aha! Alright, let's get this person over here. Aha. Baby. 'Twas a babe sitting in the lap of that other person. That's somebody's pile of laundry. They should really get that cleaned up. It's rude to just leave that laying about. That lady over there, and this dude holding whatever that is, and whatever that is, couldn't tell you, and this fiddle person. Family of J Maurin de Perpignan. Artist unknown. Probably didn't pronounce most of that correctly, but we're done with image holes. Let's see. Let's go ahead and finish up the Jessie strips. Okay, we seem to have run into a more difficult Jessie strips, I say as I immediately place a piece down. The duality of a cadenza comment. I feel like this is definitely going to be more difficult than the one we just did earlier. Although, that wasn't, like, too terribly easy. It wasn't trivial, but it wasn't exactly a cakewalk either for poor little old me. Damn it, now you go somewhere. Obviously. What a stupid... What a dumb thing I just said. Like, yeah, of course it goes somewhere. It's a puzzle piece in a puzzle game. Why would it not go somewhere? I'm just gonna be quiet for a little bit while I try and figure out where pieces go. If nothing else, that'll make video editing this... I don't know why I said it like that. If nothing else, it'll make editing this in the future a little easier. I can just snip out the long periods of silence. I was not afforded that privilege in the main story mode. I mean, I probably could have done that, but it didn't feel right to do so. I love how I said let me be quiet for a minute, and then just kept talking for 30 straight seconds. I am, watching cadenza is a land of contrasts. Alright, now I'm gonna actually be quiet for a little bit. Alright, I've gotten a few pieces, which is nice. Big fan of that for me. Love that for me, really. This is maybe not quite as insurmountable as I first imagined it would be. Not that I'm complaining. She said, and then just never finished that sentence. Listen, words are hard sometimes. We've been over this. You know. That might as well be a channel motto at this point. Words are hard sometimes. Welcome to Cadenza's Video Game Jukebox, where words are hard sometimes. That'll bring the subscribers. Not that I'm, like, actively seeking them out, I'm just doing my thing. And hoping people are interested. But, you know, if you are watching, and you haven't subscribed, and you're thinking about it, maybe consider doing that. You know, just as a little lark, maybe, if you want. I wouldn't be mad. I would be confused as to where this piece goes, but I can come back to that later. There we go. She said it again. Say the line, Bart. There we go. Yay! I'm gonna be honest. I have watched maybe 5 episodes. Not 5 episodes. I've watched maybe 5 minutes of The Simpsons in my entire life. And I know a lot of people really like that show, or at least the earlier seasons of the show. But what are we up to now? Like season 30 something? That's too much for me to catch up on. And especially when most of it is apparently either bad or mediocre at best. I'm not interested. There are many other things that I want to do in my life before I devote myself to watching The Simpsons. That does unfortunately mean that I don't have maybe the appropriate amount of context for a lot of memes that are based on it, but also that's fine. I don't need to be super knowledgeable about memes in my day-to-day life anyway. What would your life be like if you did have to know about memes for a living? How would that work out? I'm not sure I want to know the answer to that question. But anyway, we're done with this puzzle. Dome at a mosque. Artist unknown. Fair enough. Alright, we're done with Jesse's strips. Let's see. Let's finish out the overlaps next. Oh, God. These pieces are small. Alright, strap in. We're gonna be here for a minute. Just touch my phone screen to make sure it doesn't turn itself off again so I can keep track of my notes. And then probably after I'm done recording this video, I will delete this app from my phone forever. It's just a notepad app. I can download another one whenever. And I probably will. Come on, obviously you go there. I guess not. It's gonna keep tripping me up until I actually find where this goes. Right there. Who'd have thought? But yeah, it's just a notepad app, and like, I don't need to be hit with ads when I'm just trying to read a text file. Like, piss off. Miss me with that shit. I don't approve or appreciate that sort of thing too terribly much. That one was pretty easy, at least. Nope. Had it for a second, then I lost it. And then I found it again, as one does. That really didn't look like it lined up, but I'm happy it did. I'll take it. I hope this isn't going to be like that one part of the story mode playthrough where I stare at a picture of a random street in San Francisco for like 25 minutes. It might be. The pieces aren't quite that small, but, you know, it might be. Don't want to rule anything out, for better or for worse. This looks kind of upright. These look like people standing. Oh, this is part of that roof. I don't know why I didn't see that sooner. I was so focused on the outline part of that, I was just like... just missed it. You gotta pay attention to all the different sections of the piece, not just one part. I feel like this goes over here somewhere, but beyond that, I don't know. You'd think, but... oh, there we go. I'm gonna be self-conscious about it every time I say there we go from now until the end of this episode, I guess. I was going to say till the end of time, but that's not... obviously a bit of an exaggeration. Speaking of the end of time. Y'all ever play Star Ocean 3? Kind of a random thing to bring up, but my brain free associated its way there from just the nonsense I was talking about. I played that game in high school and had a good time with it, and I kind of want to revisit it, but on the one hand, it's like a million hours long. I would be streaming it for months. Probably just to get through the story mode, not even considering all the post-game content that I do actually want to do whenever I revisit it, because I didn't do it on my initial playthrough like more than a decade ago. Holy shit, I'm old. I'm not old, I feel old in this moment. But I don't know how entertaining that would be. Part of the reason that I like to stream long RPGs is that I don't think a lot of the time that they would be very feasible for a more traditional Let's Play. But whereas with a stream, I can just play through the game and shove the VODs onto my YouTube channel and not have to worry about it, and, you know, provide timestamps so that people can skim through to the good parts if they want. Leave that up to the viewer and all that. And you know, by that metric, Star Ocean 3 would be a good stream game, because I could just do that. I could just, you know, play through it, upload the VODs, not have to think about it anymore. That's also part of the reason I like streaming, is because I can just upload the VODs without having to edit them, which is nice. But I don't know. I don't know how engaged people would be watching something of that length. I don't know that I could, like, keep an audience for that whole amount of time. This obviously lines up. Give it to me. Oh, fine. That's fine. I maybe jumped the gun a little bit, but you saw where I was having confusion there. Where I was confused. I know how words work. William Wordsworth. But yeah, I don't know. These are just some of the things you think about as a person who uploads videos on the internet on a hopefully at least semi-regular basis. But I mean, to be honest, the biggest thing keeping me from streaming that is that I don't have a copy of it at this present time. It's on the PlayStation Store. I could buy it and, you know, download it to my PS4, and that's what I'm planning on doing, because otherwise I wouldn't have a way to stream it with the way things in my life are going right now. I don't have a fancy capture card or any sort of setup for, like, retro game streaming that doesn't involve, like, streaming on the consoles I have. But anyway, I am extremely rambly right now. just on that initial tangent that I went on. Shout out to tangents. They can be helpful in situations like this where you need things to talk about while you're trying to solve a puzzle. No telling where on earth that one goes. I'll come back to it later. Also, if nothing else, the music of Star Ocean 3 kicks ass. That was a mid-aughts Motoi Sakuraba at his finest. Like, goddamn, what a great soundtrack. Give it a listen if you haven't. It rips. People still describe things as ripping, right? Like, if they really like something, people still say, "Whoa, dude, that rips." I'm not just a giant dork, right? I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm just playing video games and talking over them. Pretty low stakes, if you ask me. That's where it goes. Oh, okay. I was like, that's obviously a roof, but I wasn't quite sure where it was going. Where it was supposed to go. But yeah, speaking of streaming, I just haven't really had the spoons for it lately. I was all, like, a few weeks ago, I was geared up and ready to start a playthrough of Dark Souls 3, because I've been wanting to replay that game for a little bit. It's been, like, maybe It's been at least a year since I played that game. I did a co-op playthrough with a friend of mine. It was a good time. Did a intelligence build and had fun blasting dudes with spells. Magic is generally pretty overpowered in Souls games to compensate for how squishy you gotta be to use it. Alright. But, I don't know. I wanted to, I wanted to stream that game, and I just, the time came, I literally had my streaming setup all ready to go, and then I just didn't. Part of the issue is that I want to play other games too. Like, I want to play Dark Souls 3 also, but I also still want to play Bloodborne. Like, I just got done doing a challenge run a few weeks ago, and I want to do another one. And that might not be the worst idea in the world, especially with the 10th anniversary coming up. But I also want to do a challenge run of Dark Souls 2, so like, part of the issue is that I'm just indecisive right now, and my brain can't decide what it wants to do. I gotta commit to one. I'm not gonna do all three of them at the same time. That's a really good way to just burn myself out and not stream for another year. I don't want that to happen. Like, when I got back to FWA, I was fully intending to stream regularly again, but then I just didn't for the rest of the year. It's tough. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out eventually, I'm sure. Hopefully I will have figured something out by the time I upload this, because if I haven't, well, that's not great. Not fantastic. Not the worst thing in the world, but, I've already got stuff to deal with. But anyway, this puzzle's done. Celebration of Our Lady of the Forest. Artist unknown. Well, that took a hot minute, but we're done with outer layers now. Let's go ahead and do one last find and fill. No, let me fill in this hand, thank you. I think I gotta fill in this other hand, too. Leg. Legs are what is on the menu. Here today in Pandora's box for Windows 98 computers and absolutely nothing else. I do hope this game gets re-released someday, if that's feasible, but I don't know how feasible that is. I'm sure rights issues are a big component of why it hasn't been, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. A Midsummer Night's Dream illustration. Artist unknown. Let's see, what else do we have left? No more image holes. One focus point. No more rotoscopes. No more overlaps, just finished those. No Jesse strips, no find and fills. Alright! We got one last puzzle here. And then we will be done with Pandora's box. Not gonna lie. Feels a little bit bittersweet. I've enjoyed revisiting this game. It was one of my childhood favorites. I loved watching my dad play it, and then eventually playing it for myself. It's been a good time. It's been giving me the warm and fuzzies, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do after this. I'll keep working on 922, obviously. That'll go probably pretty smoothly. Jesus. That'll probably go pretty smoothly. It is, after all, a visual novel, and those are pretty easy to record, especially ones made in Ren'Py, which I feel like a lot of the ones that I am into are, so. I don't foresee many difficulties there, which is nice. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I gotta find find new things to record. That's always a challenge, is trying to find something to keep my uploads going. And I'm not quite sure... Excuse me, I'm not quite sure what I will be doing in the future at this junction. Because, for one thing, at time of recording, none of the other visual novels I am interested in are currently finished, and I like holding off until... I prefer not to record a game until it's actually, like, done, so that people can see the whole thing, and not, you know, have to wait in limbo for literally, possibly, potentially months. And I'm not saying that to try and drag people who like to cover games that aren't finished yet. That's fine. It's just a personal preference. Just something that I don't like to do personally. I feel like this goes somewhere on the floor here. Possibly there. But, okay, so we're back here. There was a bit of a mishap in the recording process, and I don't know why this happened. So the game didn't crash exactly, but it did freeze up in the middle of that last puzzle, and it started lagging, like, extremely... Maybe lagging is not even the right word, where, like, I got caught in a loop where I kept trying to open Task Manager, and then when I exited out of that menu, the game state will have moved forward a little bit, but, like, I wasn't in a state where I could, like, actually play the video game, so I had to like force quit this installation, and then when I tried to get back into it, it wouldn't work, so I had to basically do an equivalent of a fresh reinstall for this. Not really, but just like refresh this thing's presence on my computer. I don't know how else to explain it, but I lost all the puzzle progress that I had made while I was recording that video, so technically we haven't done any of these final 10 puzzles. I'm not going to do them all again. You saw me do them earlier. I don't feel the need to redo them for posterity's sake. You have video evidence of me solving those puzzles. So we're just gonna do this last puzzle again and hope that it doesn't brick on me again for unknown causes. I still have no idea what caused this, and I'm not happy about it, but there's just nothing for it but redoing it, I guess. kind of an inauspicious end to this whole playthrough, unfortunately. But there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I gotta pick myself back up and try again, I guess. I'm gonna try and speed solve this as fast as I possibly can, so that the game doesn't have an excuse to break on me again. That's going to baffle the shit out of me, I'm sure. It probably is at least partially due to this being a definitely 100% legitimate copy, don't worry about it, of the game. Stuff like this is part of why a re-release would be nice. I've been having issues with things breaking on me lately, between this and Aviary Attorney from, like, last week. Well, last week from my perspective, weeks ago from your perspective. It has been a time. It has been a time. That's all I can say about it. But hey, we're almost done. I'm taking about the same amount of time I did the first time through, I'm noticing. I'm hoping that's not a bad sign that things are about to mess up again. If it does, well, I mean, it'll be funny, but also I will be vexed and annoyed. So hopefully... Where the hell does this go? There it goes. So hopefully that doesn't come to pass, but... You know... We shall see. Alright. I don't have a whole lot else to say, so if I can just hurry up and finish solving this puzzle so that I can stop recording before things mess up on me again, that would be fantastic. That's where that goes, okay. That was confusing me for a bit there. Well, where does this go then? Some mischief is happening here. There we go, okay. Hall of the Council of 500. Artist unknown. And that's it. As far as I'm aware, there are no more puzzles for us to solve. We are well and truly done with Pandora's box. Alright, thank you all for watching. Hopefully, whatever I record next won't have so many technical difficulties, like literally right at the end. What a way to go out. That's just how things go sometimes, I guess. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, whatever that happens to be. Bye for now.